It's 5 a.m. on WKYT this morning with budget talks stalled out. Governor Bevin has ordered immediate funding cuts for Kentucky's public colleges and universities. The latest on the budget battle just ahead this morning.
Court documents are shedding new light on how a man accused of stealing donations for veterans pulled off the act.
And a day of severe weather left a mess across portions of western Kentucky. A look at some of the damage out that way coming up.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us on this April 1st day. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Bill Bryant. It's good to have you with us. Yeah, keep that in mind. It is April Fool's Day. Somebody might try to prank you today, but we're not going to. We're going to check in with weather meteorologist Micah Harris, who's going to tell us about things calming down for the weekend.
For the weekend, yeah. We're going to see that move on. Now, we do have one lone thunderstorm right through Williamsburg, and that's moving eastbound, so keep that in mind if you're sitting there in Barberville. But other than that, it looks like just a few showers here and there, and that's very light rain except for that thunderstorm there over Williamsburg heading toward Barberville as you make your way across 25 East. Now, here's the deal. That front's moving through. This isn't a big cold shot. You'll see lower 60s later on this afternoon as we dry some things on out. What about your weekend, though? I'll tell you this, it gets much cooler than that. I mean, much cooler. Maybe even a hard freeze in store. And I'll have that with the green thumb alert coming up.
Okay, see you then. Thank you.
The budget battle continues to heat up in Frankfort. Governor Matt Bevin has now ordered immediate funding cuts to all Kentucky public colleges and universities. The
governor's order comes amid the budget talks between the leaders of the Democratic-controlled House and the Republican-controlled Senate, and they are in a stalemate. They walked away from the table yesterday. WKYT's Mark Barber is live on UK's campus this morning with the latest developments in the state budget battle. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. When these cuts were on the table just as a proposal, UK's president was an outspoken critic, saying that they would be incredibly challenging for the university to overcome. Well, we are about to find out just how challenging these cuts will be for universities, as this morning every state school is scrambling to figure out where and how they can sustain these 4.5% spending cuts. Now, many people are worried that these spending cuts will lead to increased tuition hikes for many students. Now, while that has not happened yet, UK officials tell our news partners at the Herald Leader that they are still trying to figure out what sort of measures the university will take. Morehead State University has already announced that they are mandating a 5-day furlough for their university employees. Governor Matt Bevin ordered the 4.5% spending cut yesterday when the House and the Senate became stuck in a stalemate over the budget. Republicans say that the cuts are needed to start paying down the state's pension debt, but Democrats say that the education cuts would just be too damaging to our universities. After talks to approve the budget fell through yesterday, Bevin went ahead and ordered state schools to slash their budgets by 4.5% by the end of the business day. Now, as you would expect, there has been quite a bit of backlash to the governor's decision. Coming up in the next half hour of WKYT News, we'll take a look at the fallout as well as the governor's response to the criticism. Again, that's coming up at 5:30. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
A man accused of robbing a veteran in Lexington is expected to be arraigned today. Police say David Kirk Jr. turned himself in yesterday. A warrant was issued for his arrest a day prior. Now, Kirk's wife says he accidentally confessed the crime to her. Last week, police say he pulled a gun on a volunteer and stole a donation jar from Veterans Outreach just outside of the Walmart on New Circle Road. A veteran collecting money was injured while trying to stop Kirk.
Severe storms are being blamed for damage in parts of western Kentucky and Breckinridge County, that's southwest of Louisville. Parts of the Breckinridge County Middle School's roof was stripped back by straight-line winds. Debris scattered in the parking lot there at the school, leaving damage to some cars as well. Students were inside at the time. No one was hurt. The county's school superintendent says the middle school's 600 students handled the weather emergency well.
And everything happened very, very quickly. We heard noise. The kids were in position.
The same storm also damaged some homes at a nearby mobile home park. First responders say 2 people were injured there. One of them is believed to have had a broken arm. And in Jefferson County, a severe storm caused trees to fall on a couple of homes. One of them was in Shively, that is just outside Metro Louisville. A family was inside the home at the time. No one was injured there. Another tree fell on a home in Pleasure Ridge Park in that area of Louisville. No injuries were reported in either of those situations, but scary to see.
In eastern Kentucky, strong winds damaged a fire department in a nearby home yesterday afternoon. The Lotts Creek Volunteer Fire Department near the Perry-Knott County line saw part of its roof ripped off due to strong winds. Firefighters also say a bay door was damaged. No one was injured, and the fire department's chief says the roof had to also be replaced 6 years ago.
Very lucky, because I mean everything was right over it. So you know, if anything would have come on through, it would have got the truck. So luckily it went on over it.
Firefighters say they were able to get all of the trucks out of the building, and they say they can make runs as needed. During a break in last night's storms, many of you saw this, a double rainbow. This is what it looked like from our sky cam just before sunset. So beautiful. Several people throughout central Kentucky also reported seeing the double rainbow. Just beautiful to look at. A reminder, you can track storms along with the latest traffic with the WKYT Weather Plus traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
The Kentucky Theater held an advanced movie screening to raise money for a good cause last night. A special advanced screening of Harry and the Snowman was held. The movie tells the story of Snowman, a horse who was rescued from slaughter at the very last minute and then went on to become a champion show jumper in the 1950s and 60s. The screening raised money for the Maker's Mark Secretariat Center out at the Kentucky Horse Park. We have a traffic alert for drivers using the Mountain Parkway today. The westbound off-ramp at exit 22 in Powell County is going to be closed from 9 until 3 today. Crews are closing that ramp for resurfacing. Traffic will have to take exit 18 in Clay City and then get back on the parkway at exit 33 in Slade. You can use Kentucky 11 or Kentucky 15 to get over to Stanton. So just a heads up on that for you this morning. WKYT this morning on your Friday, 1st of April, just getting started this morning.
Terrifying footage captures a collision between skydivers thousands of feet in the air. That story after the break.
The rain's trying to move on out, and once the rain moves on out, here comes that cooler air. I'll show you how cold we get today and this weekend coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
The rain's kind of cutting us in half. Half of the region with some rainy conditions, the other half starting to dry some things on out. That half of the rainy conditions obviously back toward the east. So you go I-75 and back toward the east, that's the best chance of seeing rain throughout the next few hours. But things are drying out back toward the west. Still a few sprinkles, a couple light showers here and there, but it's about the crossover 75. That's the back edge of the front right through there. And we're going to be focusing in on one cell. And you did have some rumbles of thunder as it made its way through Williamsburg and just north of Saxton. All that making its way toward the east. Barberville getting in on the mix too. Those are some pretty heavy downpours, and you roll through 25 east, you'll be seeing that shortly as it's one after another. Next in line will be southern portions of Leslie County as you travel that 421 route heading all the way to Harlan. So keep that in mind. Here comes some heavy downpours for you. Obviously the front right through there, right? So the 60s and a couple of upper 50s down toward the southeast. The rest of us, that cooler air is rushing on in. It's just pushing in, and we will have that going throughout the next 48 to 72 hours. Hour by hour forecast though. What's this as we get into the afternoon? 62? That's not bad. You got to remember, yesterday we were in the low to mid 70s. We really bumped it up, especially if you saw sunshine yesterday. And we're dropping that about 10 to 12 degrees. Well, you drop it from the low to mid 70s. You finish off in the low 60s. So that's a pretty good feel. Headlines as we track through the day. Drier conditions settle in. I will tell you this. Northern zones, northern Kentucky, you will have a slight chance of rain later on this afternoon. But other than that, we're pretty dry today. It's actually a pretty decent day. Then we hit the weekend. Much cooler air filters on in. We're talking low 50s for both Saturday and Sunday. Now, these aren't days that you got to cancel plans. It's not going to feel the best or feel the greatest, but it's not going to look bad. I mean, we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds both days. There is a very slight chance of rain on Saturday, and that's mainly for the northern half too, but other than that, we stay dry all weekend long. Really the big talker, the hard freeze coming up there on Sunday morning. It is possible that we get that hard freeze with upper 20s, lower 30s as of right now. We'll see if cloud conditions will help us out, but it's still possible. Check this out. All right, we've been talking about this double rainbow all day long that everyone saw yesterday. Connie Templeton, I say everyone but us three, who are up early this morning, and the production staff and all the staff here at WKYT. It's got to go to bed early, but the double rainbow, amazing. Hard to capture with the camera. That's from Winchester in Clark County. Connie Templeton, really cool shot, and another good one. As you see that rainbow there, that's from Penny Young there in Highland, Kentucky. Awesome shots. I'm going to show them off all morning long, 7-day forecast. Remember the morning chance this morning, slight chance for northern Kentucky later on this afternoon and for Saturday afternoon. But it's those temperatures, upper 20s, lower 30s on Sunday morning, guys. And that's not the only chance we have through the 7-day forecast.
I was up late. I stayed up all the way till 8 o'clock last night. And
You
look,
actually- you did get a
I did. I have
Yeah,
a
isn't
picture
it
on my
You live
Twitter.
on-
You can
hey,
check that out.
You live on the edge.
It was,
Bill.
and I'll tell you,
8 o'clock, man. You are
Wild night.
A wild
Oh,
night.
wow, crazy guy.
but I'll tell you also, and then this couple was out taking a picture of the double rain, and the next thing you know, they get in their car and it says "just married" on the back.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
It was
awesome.
really neat.
Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect
so
moment.
good luck for them. All right, it is 5:13 right now.
A pair of skydivers had the worst fears become reality after colliding midair in the skies over Florida this week. And the terrifying incident was caught on camera.
Now we have some tape here. Sebastian Leal says it started as just another day of skydiving, but just seconds after jumping, he and another skydiver collided thousands of feet in the air, sending both into a spin.
Oh, my goodness.
Leal says both of their backup chutes deployed. It saved their lives, but the accident left him paralyzed from the waist down. Despite his injury, Leal says the terrifying incident inspires him to not give up, promising that he will skydive again one day. Amazing story.
It is amazing.
Scary
Just scary to
situation
see.
as
Look at
well.
that.
Certainly. Oh, wow. Ugh. Okay, enough of that, huh?
I know,
5:14 in the morning on WKYT on your Friday.
So when we come back, we'll take a look at your money.
A shift in the drinking habits of Americans, and a new bar finds its inspiration in the ups and downs of Wall Street. I'm Karina Mitchell with those stories coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. It is 5:17 right now, and the newest Tesla is making headlines, and soda consumption is falling.
And a stock exchange themed bar. Karina Mitchell has the latest on your money.
The wait is finally over for fans wanting a glimpse of Tesla's newest electric car. The automaker rolled out its much-anticipated Model 3 last night. The car is expected to have a range of at least 200 miles when fully charged and comes with a starting price tag of $35,000. Investors are hoping gains made in March will continue into April. On Thursday, the markets ended the day mixed. The Dow fell 31 points, while the Nasdaq ticked up slightly. Soda consumption in the U.S. fell for the 11th consecutive year in 2015 and is now at its lowest level in 30 years. That's according to a new report which says diet sodas also took a hit as more Americans are trying to switch to healthier beverage options. And one Ohio bar set to open this summer is taking its inspiration from the New York Stock Exchange. Queen City Exchange, located in Cincinnati, will have 41 beers on tap and plans to price them dynamically. Just like stocks, the more popular a brew, the higher the price will be. That means a deal on less popular beers. And that's your Money Watch. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
All right, so who has the better prices, Whole Foods or Trader Joe's? A bank analyst compared prices at the two markets, and according to her report, Trader Joe's was 21% cheaper. Of the 77 items tested, which included a mix of perishable items, private label products, and non-food items, Trader Joe's had the lower price on 70 of the items. Whole Foods offered a lower price on just 7 of the products. So there you go, some comparison shopping for you.
And at both, you can get a bottle of wine for $2. Did you know that?
Didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay, cheap wine.
Just
huh?
so you know.
You're saying well-priced wine, not cheap wine, okay, right?
Well, yeah.
5:20 on WKYT in your Friday morning. Good to have you along with us. So much more on the way.
Sports is next.
On the way next in sports, you will hear from Eddie Gran, who was talking about Drew Barker. Gran is the associate head coach of the offense, and Bam Adebayo, one of the new guys coming in for UK next season, did pretty well at the McDonald's All-American game. That's on the way next in sports.
Looking on Defender Radar Network, out and about the western half of our viewing area, actually drying some things on out. Eastern half still with some showers rolling on through. We'll have that for at least the next 2 to 4 hours, and then that pushes on out. We're drying some things on out. 62 degrees later on this afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies. Pretty good look. Speaking of good look, Charles Go, he said, thought you'd like my shot from Jacobson Park tonight. Yeah, I do. How cool is that? Those are Mammatus clouds. And that's a really, really neat shot as that sun starts to set. Charles, we appreciate that. Another shot of the rainbow. Kirksville there in Madison County, just west of Richmond there along 52. Awesome shot. That is from Brian Farthing. Guys, we appreciate it very much. Let's check out sports, see what's going on.
Eddie Gran has been putting in a new pro-style offense for the Cats this spring. He was not satisfied after yesterday's morning practice. Gran said the offense was inconsistent, not efficient on first down, and not as good on third down as the unit was in last Saturday's scrimmage. The inconsistency yesterday included quarterback Drew Barker.
You know, you look at that scrimmage, he was 5 for 5, led, did everything you ask a quarterback to do, and you come back today and not so good, threw too many interceptions, and you know, but you know, if he throws an interception, he comes back. Coach Hinshaw did a great job today of getting him to recover, and that's what our quarterback has to do. So I did see some good things, but we're gonna stay on them. Those guys got to be great. They just can't be average. They can't be inconsistent. If they're inconsistent, then we're in trouble.
He is a ferocious rebounder and is fond of saying his motor doesn't stop. Big man Bam Adebayo was one of the bright spots in Wednesday night's McDonald's All-American game in Chicago that included 4 future Wildcats. Adebayo had the only double-double, going 6 of 9 from the field, 16 points, hauling in game-high 12 rebounds. His future Wildcat teammates were highly impressed.
Bam's been dominant. You know, that's what he does. You know, he goes out there, rebounds everything he can, and dunks everything. So that's Bam.
I mean, Bam played well. I think he had 16 points, 12 rebounds. I mean, that's what he's going to do next year. So it's the norm for him now. It's pretty normal.
It's real tough because everybody, you know, they want to show off for their family and their friends. But you know, I just go out here and just play hard and just play together.
And later today, Kentucky basketball will make what's being called a special announcement. No word as to what it is. We will stream it live for you on WKYT.com. That begins at 2 o'clock today from Memorial Coliseum. So here in a few hours, we will see what the big special announcement is. That's a look at sports. Enjoy your Friday.